What if I told you there was a plan by a government to attack its own people? Not as a mistake, but as a strategy. In the early 1960s, the military wanted a justification to go to war with Cuba, so they wrote one. It was called Operation Northwoods. It looked like a solution, but it was disturbing. The plan included staging acts of terror on American soil, fake hijackings, simulated attacks, and even real violence. Some proposals suggested using innocent civilians as targets, not soldiers, but regular people. Ideas to blow up aircraft and sink boats to create chaos, then blame it all on Cuba. Every step was calculated. This wasn't a conspiracy. It was officially documented and signed by high-ranking military officials. President John F. Kennedy refused to approve it, and it never became reality, at least officially. But the final shock remains. How many other plans were never revealed?
They were told they were being helped. That was the lie. In 1932, hundreds of African American men in Alabama were recruited for a government medical program. They were promised free health care, but the real goal was to watch them suffer from untreated syphilis. Doctors told them they were receiving care. In reality, they were given fake treatments and empty hope. Even after penicillin was discovered, a real cure, the treatment was deliberately withheld. They chose not to save them. Families were devastated, wives and children were infected. And still, the experiment continued for 40 years. The men believed they mattered, but to the system, they were just data, numbers, subjects. The truth finally leaked, and the program was shut down. But for many, it was already too late. And that leads to the final shock: this happened in plain sight.
Some of the darkest operations don't happen in secret rooms. They happen in plain sight, hidden behind distractions. In the 1980s, the US government was publicly taking a strong stance against terrorism. But behind the scenes, a very different story was unfolding. American hostages were being held in the Middle East, while in Nicaragua, a rebel group known as the Contras needed support. Officially, the government was not allowed to fund them, so they found another way. And here comes the first shock. They secretly sold weapons to Iran, the same country they publicly opposed. The money from those sales didn't stay where it should have. It was redirected, funneled, sent to support the Contras, completely illegal, completely off the books. The second shock hits harder. This involved officials at the highest levels, decisions made behind closed doors. The truth eventually leaked, investigations began. The truth came out piece by piece, and the public realized the same government that spoke about law had broken it. Trials followed, careers ended. Some questions were never resolved, because sometimes the truth isn't just hidden, it's protected.
Before you hear this story, forget everything you think you know about control.
This actually happened. In the shadows of the Cold War, the CIA launched MKUltra. They were racing for mind control, testing LSD on ordinary people without their knowledge. Imagine ordering a drink, laughing with friends, while your reality begins to dissolve. Walls breathing, time slowing. Behind a one-way mirror, someone was watching, taking notes. Subjects kept in isolation, pushed until they never came back. Many never gave consent. They were used. A scientist fell. Most evidence gone, destroyed, burned, erased. The truth remains hidden. If this is what survived, imagine what was destroyed. Forget what you know.